Hello, welcome to today's live stream. Best regards from Germany. Just a short question. Can you hear me and see me? Everything fine on Discord and YouTube? Hello, Alois Santa. Nice to see you again. So then, yeah, let's start. I think everything should work correctly. If the Discord stream should cut somehow or stop, please let me know. Sometimes this happened a couple times. I don't know why. Actually, it's running now. I'm not changing anything. Perfect, demo trader. Hello, Ragu. Perfect. So, welcome to today's live stream with me, Robert Rother. I started trading at the age of 13. For everyone who doesn't know me yet, I'm German. I'm living in Germany currently, or I am in Germany. I started to set up my first investment company at the age of 17. That was at the end of 1998, 99. It's almost 30 years ago. I had two partners who taught me actually the trading and private equity, hedge fund management, and alternative investments. In 2004, actually, I just sold my shares of that company in 2004. I moved to China, where I set up a second investment company with a Chinese partner, and I managed over 100 million US dollars. I had a team of 30 people, traders, analysts, and so on. But if you're very successful in China, and if you know stories like from Jack Ma and other rich Chinese people, you know that you somehow always get into trouble. So I was detained in May 2011 for outsmarting the Chinese finance system. I was released in December 2018, and of course, the first thing I did was writing a book about my story. It became a best-selling book in Germany. Unfortunately, it's not translated into English yet. So if you have a publishing house or so, or if you know someone who's interested in an amazing story, please let me know. I'm happy to let it translate. Otherwise, I'm running a free community for German-speaking people, but now also for English-speaking people. If you're interested in, please send me the direct message, and I will give you the link for a free community to exchange yourself. Also, just Google for my name, Robert Rother. Basically, this is where you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Linktree. Most importantly, the general disclosure before we can start. All Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Hi Teddy, nice to see you. Now we can start. I think one of the interesting markets right now is gold. Made also a new all-time high. And we could see very clearly here in Bookmap the market sweep. It's a great way to trade. Then the liquidity came back to 171 US dollar, and the market took the liquidity, absorbed it, and then the sell-off is starting. If we look at the chart to get the big picture of gold, always important before you look into Bookmap, get the clear picture. Gold futures. We have the daily chart front. We can see the red lines that I have drawn are basically anchored VWAPs. So to say, my favorite analysis tool to get a clear understanding where support and resistance lines are. Then we had the highs at 2082. Then we had this huge wick on Monday, 4th December. The market went up to 2,150 US dollar, and then we were stuck in that range. But now we have this move up, and it's interesting to trade and to see where gold can move. To get a better picture, I'm going to a shorter time frame. and I will add different anchored VWAPs. The first thing what we can see is, if you want to analyze a market, there are two main characteristics for me that I want to understand. And this you can see in every time frame, also in Bookmap. Bookmap it's essential to understand this for day traders. The first actually type of condition the market can be is a rotation. This is a rotation here. We can see the market is moving sidewards, and then the breakout is coming. Again, we have a rotation here. Again, we have a rotation here. The market is shifting upward. We have a rotation here and a rotation here. Then the market will make a shift and goes to the next level. This we call a trend. This is basically the trend. This is an impulse. I would call it an aggressive shift of the valuation of the market, and this is more like a slower upward trend. So main picture is for us, Rob, are you trading ECB news today? How important is economic news and reports for your trading and funds? James, good question. It is very important, especially if you're a day trader, and we can just make a quick look at it. We have Trading Economics is my favorite website to see the news releases. This is Central European time, since I'm based in Germany right now. Let me see how many people are here. If there are questions, please let me know. I will answer immediately. Today, Thursday, we have the interest rate decision. It's already passed. Then we have 4 p.m. Fed Chair Powell testimony, and if the Chair Powell is talking, it will always be volatile. So you must be very cautious in your actions, and most likely the support and resistance zones that we set up for ourselves, for our trading plan, might not be that not that strong, because if you say something like A, then the market will jump up. If he says that's not good, the market will crash. So it's sort of luck. If you're not an experienced trader, I suggest you better still just keep watching and don't risk your own capital. There are enough other trading days during that year where you can trade with lower risk. Of course, the opportunities are there. If you hit a trend, you can make quick money, but we are not here to gamble. We are here to last long, to have a good income, and we are always here to trade another day. Don't crash your account in one day. I know all these stories happened to me also. I remember 2001, some of the first days of the trading year. Alan Greenspan was the chairman, and he cut the interest rate. Nobody was prepared for it, and at that time the S&P future just jumped up, and I was long, so I was happy. I made like 25 grand. I was just 19 years old. I made 25 grand in a couple of seconds. So I know how this can work for you, but also against you. Are you watching the stops and icebergs? Yes, I'm also watching on stops and icebergs. But most importantly for me is simplicity in trading and to understand market structure. If you don't know what is a rotation, and if you know that the market cannot just walk through these sort of support and resistance lines, then you make a lot of mistrades, which will run into your stop loss. And actually it's sort of basic information that you should know. And if you can manage this, if you know what a rotation is, if you know the market structure, basically you also know where the icebergs are. I don't need an iceberg indicator to show me on a chart where an iceberg order is. You can see this perfectly in Bookmap with simply watching on the bubbles and how the market is moving. Now we are now in the pre-session, pre-opening. Important numbers for me, and I can show you also is yeah, open price, of course, then the settlement price from last night. Can somebody tell me the settlement price for the E-mini from yesterday? First, context. Yeah, I will bring that into play. Most importantly, the basic homework that you have to do is check the settlement price. Settlement price yesterday, easy to look up, to search for, is 5111.75. You can find it on the website from the CME group under equities, E-mini, markets, E-mini. Also for the Nasdaq, it's the same, but I prefer to trade the E-mini. Nasdaq is too choppy for me, but that's of course personal choice. And then settlements 511.75. Then I have a table here for the March. So today is 7th, 24. Open price, we don't have this yet. 511.75. Then the next thing, which is very important for me, is the high and low of the initial balance. The initial balance are the first 30 trading minutes of the day, and I want to know what is the high, what is the low, and the delta. I keep record of this for each month, and then I know if we have a delta, the difference actually from high minus low is around 10 points or below points, we will have a breakout on the second half of the day. Yeah, so it's the beginning, nothing is happening. My explanation for this is, and that's how I learned it 25 years ago. Just think about it. You're a broker or fund manager. Now the markets are opening. You start your normal working day. So you have a pile of orders in front of you. Now you have to execute them. If the range is very narrow, most of the orders are not filled yet. So you need a different price level valuation to get these orders filled. This then basically during the second half of the day, this will happen that the market will shift upwards or downwards or both. If we have a huge delta at the beginning, 17 is larger for these days, but last year we had deltas of 30 to 40 points and even more at the beginning of the day. Then most likely we will not have a huge movement on the second half of the day. That means I would sell the highs and buy the lows. And here I would start to jump on the trade, yeah, to actually buy pullbacks or sell pullbacks. It's a very important number. Most traders don't pay attention to it anymore. It's an old school thing, yeah, but it's still, if you look at the lines later on, you will see that they still have a lot of, they're very good support and resistance zones during that day. So now let's have a look here at the basic view on the ES. And I will also talk about gaps. I look at the regular trading hours. I like these charts a lot more, and especially gaps like we saw yesterday. Perfect gap close here. It's the best trades, yeah. Also, this gap was closed during the extended trading hours. We could see it here. Perfect gap close, and we went to that support line nearly to the settlement price from the 6th of March, or from yesterday. Now I have to add the settlement price from today to my lines 511.75. Yeah, and it's also interesting, it's almost near the initial balance low from yesterday. Just add SP the initial balance from yesterday I will delete. I don't need that today. I will add it later. The VWAPs I'm also deleting. The opening price from yesterday is also important. I mean, during the trading day, the opening price, but I will delete it. This gap is also closed. We delete this line. This gap is closed. But I will add here at this point resistant lines for me. I know if the market goes to this area, definitely it's a short scenario for me. And this rotation as well. This is what I mentioned before. These zones are very important. Because in this rotation, big players, they accumulated their size. For example, if you want to add, if you have to trade 1 million S&P futures, if you have to buy them, you cannot do it with buying market, yeah. So you need a longer time period to buy them. And so you have your entrance point here. And we can also measure these entrance points or the average price by simply putting a volume profile on it. Then we can see that the settlement price is near the point of control, the price level with most of the volume. So we know if the market goes up to this area, 5,145, we can actually think, or we could say that the big players who actually sold a lot of future contracts here would defend their entrance position, and we have a pullback. Because most likely they will not have fulfilled their full order size. So this is why I have the settlement price, this settlement price in combination with the point of control, and that is then the context of the market. We know we have a huge resistance here. I can use this perfectly for day trades, and we are very close to that area. We are now at 5135 pre-session. So we actually move exactly into this resistance zone. Now we compare this zone, the 1145 to Bookmap. What can we see here? 45, oh, no surprise, there is huge volume, the pre-session. So the sellers of this area here, they are not finished yet. They want to sell more contracts at the 1145, and we can also see above 55, 56. As a day trader now, I would suppose to look for reversal trades in that area. There are different ways. You can actually put a sell limit order in front of this liquidity to trade the pullback. I like to do these things with a short stop loss, and like always you can make something like 10 to 15 ticks in the ES easily, because these are the pullbacks. You can also start and trade 2 contracts or 3 contracts. Basically you go with 2 contracts short. The first one the first TP will be after 12 ticks, and the second contract you will let run to the VWAP, for example. So now let me check your questions, and I will go into that. Are you news? We already had this. Are you watching the stop and icebergs on Bookmap? Well, I can add them, but for me the market context and to see where these liquidity zones are is more important. And well, I will find examples later where you simply can spot iceberg orders. Can you talk about context, which is priority, economy, news, or price action, or is it a combination of both? For me, price action is definitely more important. The news, they always have a reaction to the market. I am not an analyst. I don't know how to interpret these news, if they're good or not. Actually, I don't care. If news are coming or will be published, I try to stay out of the market until the market has a reaction and I can trade again. So basically, if there's news time, I'm staying away. Trading against icebergs would kill your account very fast. Yeah, well, trading against icebergs. Well, we never know really what is the intention of these icebergs. Yeah, are they there to hedge a big position? Are they there to build up positions, or they just want to get rid of their positions? We don't know it. Yeah. If you see an iceberg and the market will stop at this level and then the market will break through, okay, then basically you have a new trend. You will get a market sweep, which you can use for trading with stop buy orders. There are many different ways how to trade it. For example, here again, it's no pre-session, but we see these ranges. We have only 85 contracts in the book, but basically we trade a little bit more. Yeah. Now it's difficult to spot them, but in 10-15 minutes we can see if there are huge volumes traded inside the bubbles, but the order book, the price quantity is still the same. We know there is an iceberg order. Do you trade a gap to fill settlement? Yeah, I love to trade gaps. If we have a gap close, I basically want to enter the market. It's always a very profitable trading strategy. Sometimes a bit boring, I have to say, because you have to wait, but it simply works very well during the last days, weeks. Are you trading overnight markets? No, I basically only trade the regular trading hours. I don't like overnight market trading. It's too slow for me, and I'm using this time to do other things. It's basically during morning time, your normal working hours in Europe, the ETH trading hours. But for me, I do other things. I do my market research. I'm learning a lot. I'm running my trading communities where I communicate with my traders, reading books, and doing that sort of stuff. Going shopping, what you have to do. Are you a trend follower or mainly rotations? It depends on the market. If I trade stocks, I'm a trend follower and I hold them over longer periods of time. Also for cryptocurrencies, I'm a trend follower. I trade Bitcoin, yeah, and Ethereum and other coins. For day trading, I'm basically not a trend follower. I look for reverse trades because 80% of the time the markets are in a rotation. And for me personally, I like to have short trades, scalping. I don't like to be for long periods of time in the market. I want to get in, take 12, 15 ticks out of it, and I'm happy. Quick trading, I like to watch, to wait, to get in and get out fast. These orders people can pull off anytime, right? How do you gauge once price hits these orders and price going hold or will just go through it? Basically, it's simply a gamble, yeah. If you have a chance of 50% and you have a risk reward ratio from 2 to 1, it works. If you have trading statistic of 60% winning rates, yeah, then you can still make money with a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 1. I don't try to imagine too much into certain zones, yeah. As more context we have, like I know there is a price action resistance, there's a volume point of control, so there's a VWAP. I know the probability that the market will have a reverse at that level is higher. But in the end, we still have a 50-50 chance. Actually, it's below 50-50. In any moment, we have to deduct the commissions. So you have to think more about mathematics, gambling, money management strategies, and not to really make your entry perfect. Think more about where you should place your stop loss, how large your stop loss is, and where you should put your take profits. And do you have only one take profit or 2 or 3? And then see what the numbers are in place for you. Exactly, nobody knows the intention, and the iceberg trader who is active at the moment is not the only one in the market. Definitely, yeah. And if there's an iceberg order and this iceberg order is being filled, there's also the other side. I mean, it's a transaction. Buyer and seller agreed to take this price. So we can say, yeah, there's a big selling iceberg order. Yeah, correct. But there were also the same amount of buyers. So at the end, it's equal, yeah. When euro close happens, do you close out positions? Is euro close important? You mean like 5 p.m. European time? That's the official trading hours in Europe, like London and Frankfurt. Actually, yeah, cease or stop. I don't pay too much attention about that for indices. If you trade currencies like euro, US dollar, yeah, you can see always movements during that period of time. Opening for yeah, European session, closing European session, opening a US session, closing US session, opening Asia session, closing Asia sessions. For currencies or forex markets, it's definitely very important. For indices, in my point of view, not actually, or maybe people have a trading strategy for that, can definitely be. I don't pay too much attention on that. And most likely around 5 p.m. I not actually trading. It's going to be, yeah, lunchtime in US, and we have a sideways market, mostly like 5:30, 6:30 to 7:30, and then the second half starting probably 7:30, 8:30 Central European time is yeah, it's getting the action again. Do you use any statistics based on previous levels, backtesting the market? I'm working together with a programmer who's running a lot of statistics for VWAP trades, for example, and then we evaluate if this is valid trading strategy or not. I'm not that tech guy. For me, I basically use my experience from 25 over more than 25 years now of trading to see which zones and levels are important, and they actually have never changed. The only thing that is changing, the markets are getting faster, the technology is getting better, we're getting more information, but the market still has a rotation and still has a trend. This never changes, but definitely the speed. And then I'm also old school. I basically take pen and paper and write down my trades and also the paper trades that might be interesting. And then I get an idea and a feeling if the strategy is working. And then a very good way nowadays, actually I never had that 20 years ago, we have a lot of prop firms that offer you cheap access to trading capital and trading environment. Simply go to one of these firms, open an account, a challenge. Don't take this challenge personally, just execute your new trading strategy on this account, and then you know if it works or not. If it doesn't work, you only lose the fee for the evaluation, but that's only a few bucks compared to your own money. I like these prop firms nowadays. Before I was not a fan of them because actually it's not a prop firm. We have to say this. You will never trade their real money because that would be illegal according to laws of the different countries. For example, in Germany, you must be asset manager, a licensed asset manager to manage money or work under an umbrella of that company. I did that before. And then you trade real money. These prop firms simply betting against you that you will lose the evaluation, they get your fee. That's it. And they will never forward these orders to the market. If they would do that, they would commit a crime in most of the countries. Laura, how can you sort out and identify the supply orders from spoof levels on Bookmap? 1 second. Okay, now we have the opening. I will just comment it. Now the market opening was happening, and we exactly move into that zone which I identified here, this rotation. Again, we can put the volume profile. And we will extend the point of control here, this area. Before the point of control was a little bit higher. Okay. We'll exactly move into that resistance zones, and we can see the market stopped. Yeah, went to the settlement price from 4th of March, 5th of March. And here we have this high volume node. And if you understand this market structure, you won't look for long trades here. Definitely not. It will ruin you. Yeah, if you understand these simple mathematics or structures, price action, you simply look for reversal trades in this area. And we can basically really identify these levels at one in Bookmap. We had the liquidity here, perfect trade. Took the liquidity, made 10, 20 ticks, you're fine. Finish the day, go home. That's my way of trading. Yeah. This is a preparation work which takes a lot of time, and then I have these key zones and then simply execute them. And now we have to add the VWAP at the opening time. Very important. Actually, this is the session VWAP from when I started Bookmap. We could see that these deviations work very well. The market simply dived into this deviation zone and made the retracement, the pullback. These zones are very important because all the algos are trading according to VWAP. It's a very important thing. A very benchmark. It's not an indicator, it's a benchmark. Now we add a new VWAP here. The date is not at the date for 7. I like to have some more fancy colors. Bands, we have the first and second standard deviation, and we should see now the session VWAP starting day VWAP. There are many different words for it. I call it session VWAP, starting here at 3:30 or 9:30 New York time. Now we see what the market will do. We will always can identify in the sideways market in rotation that these lines, these multiplier lines, standard deviations work very well as support and resistance level and price targets. Now simply at this moment there is nothing to trade for me, or no trade indication. I would wait that the market first finish the initial balance. This is the high and low till 4 p.m. Then we know at 4 p.m. we have news. Yeah, so be very careful and don't be in the market before 4 p.m. We really don't know what's going to happen. Sure, if they're on. So if you have any questions, fill them in. I'm not sure if on Discord. You can ask questions here in my Discord channel. Yeah, I am just having a look. Stephen posted there. And yeah, here on YouTube, of course. How can you sort out and identify the supply orders from spoof levels on Bookmap? The supply orders of spoof level, spoofing, and yeah, the fake orders. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Laura. Maybe you can help me a little bit to understand. Or do you mean these bracket orders here in Nasdaq future? This basically we can, we use settings, configure add-ons, Trader Map Pro, and we activate for the Nasdaq. Show only the orders that were not changed by price, and I basically add another one, add filter, order duration filter, show orders that exist longer than at least 15 seconds. I run this script. I like this a lot. I also like Market Pulse, but right now with live streams and with the sound effect sometimes a little bit annoying. So now we should be able to eliminate these zones. Yeah, and we get a clearer picture about liquidity levels. 18 to 50. Does the initial balance from the last few days have any relevance for you? Yes, most likely. I try to not put too many lines into my chart. Yeah, otherwise it's getting really confusing. But I can tell you from my experience that initial balance lines from previous days are definitely of interest. Sometimes the market really stops there without any reason. But if I would have now all initial balance inside my basic chart, it would get, yeah, very confusing. So now we just hit the settlement prices. The settlement prices I still have in my chart. They are, I think, for the last week or two, always interesting trading levels. And now we can see here we have a very nice gap. I like to watch on these charts, 5-minute chart. If we get a gap close here in this area, I am really happy to wait to get the trade. Here it's the yeah, settlement price. In this area, definitely long. If I can take this trade this way down, difficult. So now for me, basically just right now we wait what the market is doing here. We wait until 4 p.m. what the Chairman Powell is going to say. And if we have a sell-off, definitely I will look for my long here. And until then, I simply wait and drink tea. Or do live streams like now. That's very nice. Maybe let me also ask you some questions. Where are you based? Basically in the United States or in Europe or somewhere else in Asia? And which markets do you prefer to trade? ES, NQ, or gold, oil? Oh, North Korea, James. Okay, interesting place. Yeah, exactly. That's a good question, Florian. Are you trading the path to the gap close or the rebound from it? For me, the rebound from it is definitely the safer way to trade. I never know if the market really travels all the way down to the gap close. These trades have a higher risk scenario, but if I see we break below the initial balance, yeah, after 4 p.m., I would basically look to trade the pullbacks. Yeah, let's say the market goes below here. I will draw it in here. Then we have a pullback. I would try to find my sell limit here and try to catch some moves on the downside. Yeah, and then basically below here I would just place my buy limit order stupidly at the closing price, and it will get this tick, maybe one tick before the closing price, and then the market will go up. That's what happened during the last weeks most of the time. Very safe trades. So if you have this patience and you wait for this one trade, just my advice is just wait for this gap strategy, gap close, place your buy limit order, go away from the computer and just enjoy the sun. We have good weather right now in Germany, sun is shining, and wait what is going to happen. US, yes, Canada and NQ. Yeah, NQ, I never was the NQ trader, I have to admit. I really it's too choppy for me most of the time. And also at a time where I was trading larger amounts of capital, I was in Hong Kong. I had my office in Shenzhen in Hong Kong, and I was trading the Hang Seng future. Basically, my orders were so big that we moved the Hang Seng future. It was time around 2007, 8, 9, 10, these years. We placed big orders there, and the market just went 50, 60 points up or down. The Hang Seng index is similar to the Nasdaq, choppy market. Yeah, I like to use at that time. I mean, it was okay for me, but now I'm more the relaxed person, and the NQ is too nervous for me. Anyone from you around New York City, or basically in New York City? I am planning to have a community event in New York City, maybe at the end of this year, together with Bookmap. I already spoke to Bruce about this, and maybe we can arrange something if people are interested to come to New York. I would come from Europe to NYC to have to spend a couple days together to exchange ideas, to get people to know personally. I'm doing this in Germany at least once a year. Always 40 to 50 traders are coming, and yeah, it's a very nice and famous get together. We did already 5 or 6 yeah, community meetings, and I can tell you, you learn a lot from that just by talking to people, not through the internet but face to face. It's a huge different thing. So now actually what I predicted is, yeah, it looks like it's going to happen. We traded exactly into this area. Yeah, went a little bit above about the highs to the highs, but it's very difficult for the market to just simply move through this liquidity area we had on Bookmap and this zone. Now the market is coming back. And these zones for traders we can definitely add into Bookmap. I like to do this to define my zones of trading here. I know if the market comes into this level, it will not simply walk through. Yeah, I would look to find short opportunities either here at the anchored or at the standard deviation VWAP here, and at the liquidity levels. And again, now just hitting the lower band. Oh, from Italy. Buonasera. I love Italy. I went there many, many times. I sponsored in 2010. I had a racing team. Yeah, I drove 24 hours of Le Mans, and I sponsored an Italian racing driver. He won the GT3 championship couple times, Luca Piri. And yeah, we traveled through Europe with our racing team, driving LMP2, also Le Mans prototypes. If someone knows something about, if someone loves cars, yeah, I loved them a lot, or still do, and also car racing, very intense sport. Buongiorno, Buonasera. And I love Tuscany. I went many times to Tuscany, and I hear even in Germany, I have a lot of friends, Italian friends. Actually, in my building where I live, downstairs is a very good Italian restaurant, and all the Italians are my very close friends. So now, well, where are we going now? Gap close before the speech. And this is now the question that before you asked, Florian, where to enter now? Yeah, now we are on the way to the gap close. Okay, where should we enter? Where is the stop? It's very difficult to determine this for me. I think I would make a lot of stop loss trades. Yeah, so I know the target might be down here, but difficult to jump on this trade. So I simply wait until the market is here to try to look for the pullback. OPL from Milano. So you know what very nice sculpture is in front of the Milan Stock Exchange. I don't want to show it, but this very big, nice finger in front of the Milan Stock Exchange. Yeah, I was many times in Milan. It's very, very beautiful city. Where I always stayed in the Grey. It's near the cathedral or the dome, Milano dome. But the sculpture, I think it was the Milan Stock Exchange, is really amazing. Let's see if we can find a picture. Yeah. You can look for yes, Il Dito, yeah? Il Dito. Juventus, okay. Well, if you are a Juventus fan, you must know Borussia Dortmund. It's my hometown and my favorite team. I love soccer. Yeah, and Borussia Dortmund beat Juventus in 1997, and Dortmund win the Champions League. Yeah, there we crashed Juve 3-1. Long time ago. Oh my God, almost 30 years. Il dito medio, yeah, the middle finger. Very nice. It's perfect location. Just Google for Il on Wikipedia. Yeah, I can show it here. Il dito. It's commonly known as Il dito, Italian for the finger. Sculpture by Italian artist Maurizio Catella. Yeah. Well, things like this, I immediately remember. I like to visit places like this. related to the stock market, of course. Yeah. Wow, it's really cool. A lot of people are watching. That's amazing. And I started, yeah, like I said, I started, if I can make some, community, English-speaking community, traders mindset. I think it should fall below a significant level and aim for the gap close from there. Yeah, I mean, what we can see here right now, if we want to get potential entrance for gap close, basically the VWAP is essential, the session VWAP. We have these zones that we can, rectangle, these zones in combination with the VWAP is basically a good resistance zone to catch the downtrend, and most importantly the anchored VWAP, which we can place at the high. So this is actually now the perfect short zone, anchored VWAP in combination with the, I call it rotation, yeah, resistance zone, and the session VWAP starting at 9:30 US time or New York time or 3:30 Central European time. This area here, 514150, should be a good resistance. Entrance point probably here to catch onto this trend. But keep in mind, in 9 minutes we have news. Yeah, this is dangerous. Exactly, the yellow wall, Pierre. This we have 81,300 people. Okay, now in this zone did not even bother about this zone. This is, yeah, news events. Yeah, this is always unpredictable. This is why I don't, we had this question before, price action or news. Now news are more important than price action, because the news are, yeah, for me just simply a sign to be very, very cautious in my trading decisions. So where do we have the low here? At 5133.25. Let's see if this holds. Get it here into my list. Low 5133.25. The high is at the moment here 5147. 7.75. That gives us a delta of 14.5. It's increasing, definitely, but it's not huge yet. Anyway, the half hour is not done yet. That means, in plain words, if this number is a lot bigger than the last days, I would not trade the trend, I would trade reversals. I would look for shorts here and would look for long signals here. If this range is very low, like 6.25, I would trade breakouts here, or basically not trade the breakout directly, but the retest, and then try to jump on the trend. Very simple but effective way to get the context of the market. No need to study rocket science for that. Then I draw in these lines. You might wonder why I use this very big lines, because I simply I had long time big problems with my left eye, so I cannot see that clearly, and I get new glasses. I went to the doctor yesterday, or many times already, and get now special glasses to get a better view on the screens again. How does news affect CES compared to NQ? Same. There is no difference. The NQ, because of this liquidity, yeah, the EQ has not this thick order book like the ES, so the moves are more aggressive, more volatile than the ES. But in the end, when the news are coming out, it affects both markets in the same manner. If you trade the reversals, are you worried about counter trend trading? Trend is up, but you are shorting. Yes, definitely. I mean, that is part of the game, but I'm not really, my understanding of reversal is not that I actually want to catch the full reversal of the day. I simply want to catch a pullback. Maybe I should change the description from reversal trader to a pullback trader. I look for levels that give me like 15 to 20 ticks possibility of a pullback, and this is what I like to trade. For example, if we mostly get close to the VWAP or to zones like this, yeah, exactly, I said I would look for shorts above here. Market comes to this level, and now we have this pullback. This is what I like to trade, and now the market will go to the VWAP. That would be basically my target, and my trade would be done. Enter short here, above here. Like I said, we are still in a close delta of the initial balance, so it's valid trade. Sell the high, buy the low, and this is exactly what happened now. And this is why I draw these lines. For me, it's very clear that the market will not simply walk through this. So this is my trading zone. On the other hand, now my next trading zone is simply here. And this is the middle price where the two VWAPs are, and this zone is my fair value. I would definitely not like to enter any trade in this zone. It's more something like the point of control. I could go and say, okay, I trade the pullback from the VWAPs, yeah. It's a possibility to trade, but for me, I want to see that we create a new high or new low. And then I would wait until the market goes to the VWAP and then trade the pullback from the VWAP. Right now we are in a fair zone, yeah, of the market structure. There is no trading possibility. This is either here or below here. Very simple structure. If you follow these things, you definitely understand the markets, and you can be profitable. So in 1 minute news will come, or somebody is going to speak. Let's see if we see The order book is getting thinner. Sometimes we can draw nice images when news are coming. You see the liquidity is pulling out of the market and you get nice shapes like rockets or mushrooms. It's a funny side entertainment with Bookmap. Who can draw the most beautiful charts during news? So, and again, the market touches this zone and it's not simply walking through. I mean, now it's 4 p.m. How do I follow these news, or if something important is happening? There is a nice website called Financial Juice. Yeah, it's for free. You get the latest or most important updates. I don't have the paid version. I'm just using the free version. It's if there is a reaction in the market, I want to know what is behind this reaction. To receive the news in real time, I'm anyway too far away from the news release. My internet connection is not that fast, and I cannot trade the reaction. Yeah, I just want to know, is something really bad happening and going on, and this during war times. We have to say Ukraine war, the Russian war, and Israel situation. Anything can happen anytime. Maybe a bomb is hitting Poland. We had this issue a couple months ago. Then the markets immediately have a crash reaction. So I want to know what's behind that. And for this website gives you quite up-to-date news. Yeah, right now there are no surprises here. Yeah. I thought we would get some action right now. No. Initial balance is the same. And now we can also draw them here into my charts. Call them green. IB high. IB low. So, and if we look, like I said, the initial balance in comparison to the last days of this month, 14.5 is not the highest. It's higher than the previous days. We still could expect a breakout. I wouldn't trade along around this area here. I would look for shorts in this area, definitely. Also this area, very nice for shorts. I think we also have a lot of liquidity at 155. Yeah, exactly here. If we compare it to the chart, where is this level? Yeah, it's here 56, exactly these highs. This is nice pullback area, not reversal area. We call it no pullback area. Yeah, it was great talking to you. Miles and yeah, exactly. The news felt more miles than a cheeseburger. Yeah, definitely. Yesterday was action with Powell. Out of nothing, the market started to rock and roll. Yeah, up, down, up, down, up, down, and out of nothing, it just happened. So my idea for the day is we might have a breakout in this area. So I would look for pullback trades in this area. If we break below the low, I would not trade the path to gap close. I would simply lay down and wait to reach this level here, for example, the settlement price or below this area. I would decide in that moment where is the liquidity in Bookmap to enter the trade in this area. So these are the two objectives, ideas for my personal trading for today. Otherwise, then I would wish you all a happy day. Trade carefully so that you are still in my stream next week. Yeah, don't crash your account. Be patient, and well, if you have any questions, ask me here, and also my free community. I'm working on that for English speaking people. This will also be, I hopefully, published next days. And I would say bye bye and see you next Thursday.